Hi guys, it's Angel from AngelSkyeTV. Today's your weekly medicine tarot reading for the week of October 29th. So this week we have Halloween on Tuesday. We have a full moon that's going to be in Taurus on Saturday, November 4th. This is going to be a beautiful moon. I don't feel any kind of negativity around this moon. It's going to be quite a powerful moon for those of you that have signs that are complementary to the sign of Taurus. Also, this moon, I think it's a great time for you to release any fears that you might have surrounding your stability, financial stability, relationship stability. I also believe some people will fall in love this weekend, will find their true love. What else? If you can do some kind of a ceremony, a ritual of sorts that you can release any fears you have, again, around stability and finances and just being in relationships. Anything like that would be highly beneficial for you to do this weekend, this Saturday. Actually, Friday night is a really good time also to do this ritual, or early morning Saturday. So we're going to call in the guides. We're going to ask them to surround this reading, our weekly reading, with divine light and love in all directions of time and space. I'm going to ask that this reading be for the highest good of all those that tune in today. And this is to bring clarity for the week of October 29th. So I'm just going to ask the guide to also clear my deck. It's feeling a bit sticky today. Get them to clear the deck. And just put them over here today. All right, so I'm just waiting for the cue to stop shuffling. Oh, some of you are worrying, the guides are telling me, are up late at night, worrying, tossing and turning, maybe a little bit of insomnia. They're showing me that some salt baths would be really beneficial for you. Those of you that are up at night worrying, have a bedtime routine where you do a salt bath before you go to bed. Maybe add some essential oils to the salt. Remember, don't add essential oils directly to skin. That's a really common malpractice. You can actually go back and look at my videos. I talk about aromatherapy. There's an aromatherapy video that I do discuss that further, like the safe practices for aromatherapy. All right, so here we go, week of 29th. Bam and bam. Yeah, so that's the card that jumped out. It's at the end of the week. So, and you know what? It's interesting because it's showing a girl looking out the window at the full moon. And it's at the end of the week. The full moon is on Saturday, and that's the card that comes up. So there is going to be some of you that are going to feel a little uncertain, or this anticipation, if you notice the rhythm of the moon and how it affects the way you feel and think, there's this buildup of energy that happens around a full moon. Now, if you're really in tune with that, you'll notice that sometimes that makes you irritable, it makes you cranky, it makes you feel a little bit on edge. And in this case, the guides are saying that the full moon is going to make a lot of you feel uneasy. You're going to be up worrying. Maybe Friday night, maybe Saturday night. And you're focusing on worst case scenarios. So I would like you to find a way to maneuver around those feelings, whether it's through the breath. They're saying the salt bath for one, but also getting some extra exercise out in nature, like going for a nice brisk walk longer than you normally do, just to kind of release any kind of tension. They're also saying if you want to stay up on Friday night and have some wild sex, do that. So I'm just putting it out there. So I'm just going to backtrack and go to the beginning of the week. I'll go back to that again. But the beginning of the week, they're saying pay more attention to details in your at the beginning of this week. There's some things that you need to sort of sort out and get control over. And for me, I'm thinking of this exam I have this afternoon that I've just kind of not really been paying attention to the details because there's so many details. It's crazy. Anyways, they're saying like before you proceed at the beginning of the week, and this is in relation to making a decision regarding work or just the way you're working at work, they're just saying pay more attention to details and be more kind to other people this week in particular. Yeah, so attention to details. They're saying stop procrastinating in the middle of the week. This is applying to me right now. And your power comes when you make decisions. So a lot of people just hum and haw. They sit on the fence. They don't make a decision. It's not a very powerful position to be in, doing that. So it brings up more confusion. They want you to make lists. They're just showing me lists and lists and lists, crossing things off, getting yourself in order, prioritizing what you need to do. So some of you are getting hung up on the order of which to do things, like should I do this first, should I do that first, should I do this, what do I do first? And that's sort of blocking your progress. What they're saying is just make a list, don't worry about the order. You can always put a star beside it if it's super important and needs to get done first, put a star beside it. My method is just put 2 stars if I have to get it done like right away, 1 star, and I don't even put a star if it's like, bottom of the list. So on my laptop, for example, I have lists everywhere. Lists and more lists and more lists. So I just make these lists constantly, and it helps keep me on task. And this is what they're saying for you. You need to stay on task. You need to stop procrastinating. You need to stop overanalyzing and take some action. Because, and this is going to sound contradictory to me telling you to make lists, because sometimes you can get caught up making lists and planning and planning and planning, and you just don't end up doing anything. I have a really good friend that does this a lot. He plans and plans and plans and plans and does absolutely nothing. And you know who you are, buddy. And it drives me crazy because he has so much potential. He has so much to offer the world, but he's so hung up in his head. He's just in his head. Just constantly like mulling over what to do, how to do it. And you know what? When he does actually apply any action, I mean, the results are amazing. And, one could argue that's because he's taken a lot of time to plan. I tend to be the type of person to just jump off the cliff. I do plan, but I don't really go thoroughly in depth in my planning. Sometimes I do, but usually I just jump off the cliff and figure it out as I'm falling down. I don't know. That's what works for me, and not everybody has the ability to do that. But the guides are saying you have to make some kind of actual decision so that you can start to take some action, so you can actually feel like get that energy moving outward. Okay? And this is going to help at the end of the week if you actually do this in midweek with taking some action steps from the plans you've been making at the beginning of the week. You're going to take some action steps. You're going to make some decisions. Whether they're right or wrong, it does not matter. Decisions will move the energy, and then, you can always change your mind. You can always change course if you find, well, this isn't what I thought it would be. This isn't how I imagined it would be. So if you do those steps, those first preliminary steps, planning details, and then taking action, the end of the week you'll feel less worried, because a lot of you have a lot of anxiety and fear and worry because you're not taking any action. So the energy's like sitting in your hands, and it's causing you to be nervous. It's making you hyperventilate, staying up all night, worrying, and blah, blah, blah. So this is an issue for many, many people, this fear of the future, this fear of the unknown, this constant, not knowing how to do it, when to do it. And a lot of people label it as anxiety. I label anxiety, and it's not always the case, but almost 9 times out of 10, I find anxiety is just a result of not taking any action steps. Just thinking too much, overanalyzing too much, thinking about the worst case scenario, not being unsure about what the future has in store for you. So this is why, again, the guides are saying it's so important for you to take some kind of an action step. And that could even just be get in that salt bath, do a little bit of extra exercise, just to get the energy moving out of the body. Go out in nature, get rid of that. In Ayurveda, they call it rajasic energy, or like zzz, like kind of like nervous energy. Get it out of your body so that you can think clearly. So it clears a path for you to be able to make a better decision in your life. I hope this helps this week. Enjoy that beautiful full moon that's coming up on the 4th. And remember, do some kind of a ritual, a physical ritual where you actually release some energy. You're aligning with the energies of the earth and the moon, and you're just allowing it to flow out so you can have a better month ahead. So I hope that helps. Take care. Talk to you soon.